Welcome to our webinar from BES. I'm the Vice President, my name is Freddie Young, and today we'll be talking to you about how you can get involved and become a BES member to hear more about the energy and sustainability industry. So if you're interested in a career in energy and sustainability, then becoming a BES member is definitely for you.
So throughout the year, we host a number of talks, trips and networking events. Some of the talks we've had previously, I'll come on to in a bit. We've had trips to Tyseley Energy Park, and this year we're planning a few virtual ones that we're hoping to deliver next semester. We've had a few networking events, our main one being a big one at the end of the second term, which we've held for the last 2 years, where we get lots of networkers from various companies around Birmingham that are interested in energy, and they come and talk to students and deliver a few presentations. So it's a great way to meet people within the industry. So the journey so far, last year, some of the events we had involved a talk from the director of CBI, Mark Ford, which is about investing in the African energy sector. One of the things we're also doing this year that's carrying on from last year is our UOB Smart campaign. I don't know if any of you seen our advert at the moment about smart meters. So there's a chance to win a £50 Dillshad or Soak voucher if you register and give us our details on how, so that you can receive information on how to install a smart meter, or if you already have one, you can just send in a picture and be entered into the draw. At the end of last year, we were really pleased to win the EPS Industrial Award. So that's basically who we are and what we do. And then you can connect with us to find out more information about our next talks. So we had one last night, which went really well, and you can find the recording on our website, which we can put in the chat in a second. And our next one is coming up on the 28th of October, which is a Wednesday evening at 6:30. And Professor Martin Freer is going to carry on the talk he delivered at the beginning of term about decarbonisation of the UK's energy system. So if you're interested in coming to that, watch the first half on our website and then come along using the Eventbrite link.
So as Nandini said, we've got loads of exciting talks coming up. My favourite one from last year was we got the BP Chief of Engineering to come in and talk to us about a bit about the how they kind of handled the oil spill in the Gulf. And yeah, so we've got loads of exciting stuff planned. Obviously, a lot of it we would hope to have been in person, but obviously with COVID, we've kind of taken it all online. We've got lots of webinars lined up. We've got a trip, a virtual trip, obviously because of COVID, but a virtual trip lined up. Hopefully, lots of networking events coming up. And there's just really loads to look forward to, and just check it out on our social media and go from there. If anyone has any questions, then feel free to ask on the chat, on the Zoom chat.
Okay, looks like we don't have any questions coming in at the moment, so we can talk. Okay, one's come up. What's your favourite thing about being part of BES? So my favourite thing personally is finding out so much more about the energy sector. The talks we have are normally really interesting, and we've got a lot of interesting questions. So it's nice to find out different people's opinions and where they think the energy sector is going. How about you, Freddie?
I think probably the same. It's good to hear different people's perspectives. You definitely learn a lot from the talks and stuff. I think one of my favourite things is the opportunity, obviously in person, to kind of talk to the speakers at the end of the evening, just to kind of really get some one-to-one with like an industry expert. But obviously this is quite difficult with everything going online, but I think that we're hoping to kind of still have that one-to-one interaction in terms of question and answering and that kind of thing. So we're hoping to keep that aspect of BES up over the coming year.
I think I'd add to that as well. So we do some events that are kind of linked with other societies as well. So last year, I can remember we had like a politics lecturer come in and talk about like Russia and how the energy, like in Russia, linked to politics as well. So I think it's quite interesting how we use sort of not just energy to talk about and other aspects as well. So
yeah, definitely. You've got a question, how can I join? So I'll let Nandini answer that. I think you're probably the best person.
So I've just put a link in the chat, which is to the Guild website. You can join using your student ID. You just log in to your Guild account and then become a member for free. Becoming a member means that you'll get emails about our events and other campaigns that we're running. So, okay, so the campaign we're running at the moment is the Go Be Smart campaign. Some of you, if you're freshers, might have seen in your dig in boxes that there was a little sticker, which was a turn off the light sticker. So we're trying to educate people on how they can reduce their carbon emissions or just save energy generally. The campaign that we're running on Facebook at the moment is about smart meters. So smart meters are great because they enable the grid to cope better with different demands of energy, like inputs and outputs. So they're aiming to have smart meters in every house. And as a student house, they're great because you can monitor and track your bills, which is ideal so that you don't have little fights amongst your house, and it helps the grid to cope. So if you're interested in getting a smart meter, you can use our link, which you can find on our social media, and we can send you information about how to get a smart meter. If you already have a smart meter, you can just send us a picture and be entered into a £50 raffle draw. So coming up for the rest of the term with the campaign, we'll be posting more information about different ways that you can save energy within your house as a student house, things that are like sort of more useful to you.
I think just to add to that, another thing that we're hoping to do is there's another society within the university called Plastic Free UOB, and we're hoping to kind of partner with them to work with the university to reduce their energy usage, to reduce their plastic usage. So that's kind of one of our goals over the next kind of year or so, just to try and play a part in making the university more sustainable. We've got another question. What are some of the upcoming events? Nandini, would you like to?
Yeah, so our next event, which I mentioned in the initial presentation, is a follow-on from Professor Martin Freer, who's director of the Birmingham Energy Institute. He's going to be talking about decarbonisation of the UK energy system. So if you want to catch the first half, use our website, which I put the link in the chat. After that, we've got a talk from a guy at Cenex, which is an independent company specialising in transport and buildings. So he's going to be talking to us about what he thinks the future of transport will be. So how they're going to move away from traditional internal combustion engines and what the alternatives are, whether it'll be a more transport public future or changing fuel types so that they're carbon free. After that, we have Professor Elliott, who is going to talk about recycling of lithium-ion batteries and the economics of it. And then the final talk we have lined up for the term is from David Horswell at Tyseley Energy Park. He'll be talking about the work that's going on there, which includes, Freddie, do you know what that includes?
So we actually were meant to have a trip there last year, but when COVID hit, we were obviously unable to do that. But Tyseley Energy Park is basically like an energy innovator in Tyseley, which is just outside of Birmingham. And it basically looks at kind of making the area more sustainable. There's a lot of innovation going on. It's looking to become a hydrogen hub. And there's lots of innovation in loads of different energy types. And David's really looking for Tyseley Energy Park to become a local hub, and for a lot of other sites across the UK to kind of take suit and really follow in their footsteps. So I think it's definitely a really exciting thing to be able to visit. I think I'm not sure whether we'll be able to run a trip this year, but I mean, it's all dependent on coronavirus and what happens with that. But we've got a talk coming from David Horsfall, and maybe we'll try and organise maybe a virtual trip or perhaps an in-person trip if we're able to in the future.
Yeah, so one of the other things we often have as a society is employers coming to us with some job adverts. We've had a few in the past, and we're hoping to expand this year. So some of us last year got the opportunity to do a summer internship with the society, and that should be carrying on next year. So if you're interested in entering the energy sector, this is a great way to meet contacts. And even if there are no sort of internships available, people are very friendly and willing to sort of talk to you about opportunities and things like that.
We're actually potentially looking at partnering with a company to produce a BES job advert. So kind of working towards having an infrastructure to post for energy companies to post their internships or graduate jobs, that kind of thing, on the BES kind of page, which would just be applicable to the BES members. So that's definitely something to think about if you're thinking of joining us.
So we've got a question: what type of companies do you work with? So we work with mainly like small to medium-sized companies in and around Birmingham that are interested in sort of the energy sector and meeting students that are. Our main sort of affiliation is with the Birmingham Energy Institute, which is part of the university, and they work on all sorts of energy projects, which is linked to Tyseley Energy Park as well. One of the companies we actually heard from about a job last year was a company that was developing a battery that you put onto your spin bike at home, so you can charge it up, and then you detach the battery, and then you can charge up sort of your portable devices. So we do get some really interesting companies coming to us looking for students to engage with them.
I think Nandini mentioned earlier, but we had organised a networking event which kind of was hoping to bring together lots of energy companies all in one place and offer the opportunity for BES members to really be able to meet and kind of form connections with different industry experts. But that was cancelled, but we're going to have to play that by ear with COVID for this year, because we're hoping to organise something like that over the coming year, but we'll just have to play it by ear.
So thank you all for coming today. We hope you enjoyed our talk, and connect with us on our social media or join us via the Guild website to hear more about our events in the future.
So guys, hello. Welcome to MECSOC's, presentation on the EPS Societies Fair. Our aim really of these 15 minutes is just to introduce ourselves, so you get to put a few faces to names, outline a few of our plans for this year, and then we'll have at the end a Q&A. Should we get round to it. So without further ado, so my name's Ibrahim. I'm the president this year for MECSOC. I'm in my third year studying mechanical engineering. I'm on a placement year actually next year, and then I'll be coming back to finish my master's. As you can see, a fun fact, I can actually fly planes, and I could actually fly before I got my driver's license, which I think is pretty mad when you think about it. And yeah, my favourite event was the engineering ball, which I'm sure we'll get onto in a few minutes' time. I'm not sure if Emma is on the call or not. I think she might be having some technical difficulties, but Emma is our secretary this year. She's in her fourth year, also studying mechanical engineering with materials. If she manages to join us later on, I'm sure she'll introduce herself in person.
Yeah, so hi everybody, my name's Ashley. I'm the MECSOC Social Secretary. I'm in my fifth year now. Also, I'm a little older, or a fair bit older than everyone else. Started uni when I was 23. So I'm basically a granddad to most of you guys. Nonetheless, it hasn't made me any more mature, sadly. Yeah.
Cool. So next we have Becky, who's unfortunately wasn't able to make it today either. She's our treasurer. Like me, she's in her third year studying mechanical engineering. And last but not least, we have Usman, who is our sports secretary, also in his third year. And this year we are involved in Campus League, which is the University Football League, as well as Football Friday, which is a pay and play football event for you guys to come along and if you're interested, play a bit of social football, get to know each other in quite an informal setting. And that's something that's up on the Facebook page and the MECSOC Facebook football page. All these links are at the end, so you can follow up afterwards. We'll just talk a bit about the engineering ball. So we always have this event at the end of each year. It's a great way to celebrate the year, let off a bit of steam for exams. Generally, we all sort of dress up and then make our way to a function room previously has been held in the Great Hall, in the Aston Webb building, as well as the Botanical Gardens, but also venues across the city. So it's a really nice way just to socialise with friends, socialise with course mates, to celebrate the end of the year. And as it says there, it is our biggest and most popular event of the year. Obviously, with the current restrictions and stuff, we are looking at venues for next year. Obviously, everything will be within or following the most current and up-to-date government guidelines at the time. But we are trying to get this event on for you guys, as we know that it is one of the most popular ones out there. Ashley, would you like to add anything to that?
Yeah, we're just trying to decide on the venue at the minute. Last year it was at, I think it was the Marriott Hotel. I can't remember the hotel, I was too drunk, but I can tell you it was very good. This year we're considering the Botanical Gardens, which is a very pretty venue, and also considering the Great Hall. So we won't have to walk very far because you'll all be in, you'd all be in the Vale or around the uni. Yeah, no, it's very good. If it goes ahead, and there is a chance it could be, it's one of our best events. So definitely recommend it.
Yeah, I'm in my final year, so I'm 100% going to do everything I can to make sure that we have a ball this year if we're allowed, because it is one of the best nights of the year for sure.
Right, so next we have, I'll let Ashley talk about it, something which we are excited to announce for this year, but obviously given the guidelines which were released on Monday, it is under review, but I'll let him talk about it a bit.
Yeah, so first time ever, MECSOC have decided to go abroad. We've decided on Budapest. So you don't know too much about Budapest. It is in Hungary, so it's in Europe. A lot of people have been asking me, is that in India or like somewhere far off? No, don't worry. It's only an hour or two away by flight. So the total cost of the trip is £239. Takes place next Easter. So you'd break up on the Friday 26th, and if you do decide to go on the trip and everything goes ahead, so Daryl asked, it's £239 in total, and it's £139 for the deposit. The deposit that will just secure your place, since there is only 40 limited spaces. Yeah, and assuming everything goes ahead, so there's no travel restrictions or anything, it'll be a lot of fun. I've never been to Budapest, but everyone who's been there said no one's ever said a bad thing about it. The nightlife meant to be amazing. So is the attractions during the day, the Hungarian Parliament, which is what you can see in the picture in the background, the ruined bars. It's all meant to be brilliant. You are guaranteed your money back if the whole trip is cancelled due to anything COVID related. So your money is safe. We do have that in writing. The trip, the actual sale of the trip, it goes live on the 22nd of October. Look out for that. I'll be posting that on the MECSOC Facebook group. That's all about. Yeah, that's about it for that.
Cool. It's definitely one of those out there trips. I don't think we've done it before. So I want to put this out on for you guys. But obviously, we will only go ahead if it is safe to do so and if the guidelines around that allow us to.
Yeah, we've got 5 months to go, and we're really hoping that we can get all you guys out there, get abroad. I know everybody's holidays have been cancelled this year, so it'll be really nice to get us all out there together, all 40 of us. It will be first come, first serve, and we'll make sure that it goes out on our Instagram, our Twitter, our Facebook in 7 days' time when we start ticket sales.
Yeah.
Right, so last but not least, upcoming events. We did have some exciting events planned, as you can see on the slide, including a bit of Get or Go bowling and the likes. But unfortunately, there are still question marks surrounding what we can and can't do now, since guidelines changed on Monday, which is really gutting. So while we figure that out, we thought we would put on a Zoom quiz just to get you guys to know each other a bit more. To get to know us, but also just have a bit of fun, really. We do know that some Zoom quizzes aren't the best, but we will make this one well worth your time. We'll make it as fun as possible and as engaging as possible, just so you guys have some sort of social interaction with each other, because we do understand for first years it has been very different compared to my year, compared to previous years. So we are, trying really, really hard to get that engagement amongst you guys.
Yeah, 100%. We know that our Zoom quiz is not ideal, and we know you guys would much rather be seeing us in person at the Societies Fair and going out and doing socials. But as soon as we can, and as soon as it's safe to do so, we are 100% going to take you guys. I think Go Golf is currently the plan. As soon as we can, we will. Don't think that it's going to be Zoom quizzes all year. As soon as we can, we're going to make sure you guys are having some proper fun. But if you guys get to know each other now, if you're on the Zoom calls, if you're like making friends with us that way, then you're going to have so much more fun when you get there.
Yeah. Just think of the Zoom quiz as like a warm up to the real thing when it happens, when the government lets us anyway.
Yeah, exactly. When Boris lets us. Cool. And last but not least, do you guys have any questions? If you do, feel free to put them in the chat, or if you want to ask them over the audio, then feel free to do so.
Have we mentioned Footy Fridays?
I briefly mentioned it, yes, when I was introducing the committee. So questions will be through the Q&A function. Please use that. So yeah, again, so Footy Fridays, they are the pay and play football. So you can come along on Friday and pay you £3 and just have a laugh, really.
Oh, we've had a nice little question that says, how do you join? So this year, MECSOC is all inclusive and completely free. So we know that traditionally you'd pay £20 membership for your whole time at university, but things were a little bit different, and we didn't really think it was fair to be charging you guys to come to a Zoom call. So this year MECSOC is completely free. You just have to pay for the events that you want to come to. So whether that be Ghetto Golf, MECSOC go on tour to Budapest, like it really does depend like what you want to do. So you can kind of pay as much or as little as you like, depending on if you're just coming to our Zoom calls or if you're coming to everything.
Okay, and on screen now are our socials. I'll also post them in the chat if you don't manage to get those on there. But we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, and we are on Twitter. We're active on all three. The best way, like I said, is just to follow all three of them, and you'll get your news and events somehow. If you have any questions, feel free to message us. We'll always answer any questions that you have. What's my favourite thing about MECSOC? I'd say generally it feels like, we want to create a family feel at MECSOC, so we want to make sure that everyone feels included, that everyone feels like they have the opportunity to get to know each other. I know my time previously in MECSOC when events were running in person, I met quite a few of my friends that way. It will be a bit difficult this year, obviously, to do that, but we will try and put as many virtual events on, or Zoom quizzes and stuff like that, so you guys have the opportunity to get to know each other as well.
Yeah, for me, I like the events. I know you guys didn't have it, but the T-shirt bar crawl, which kind of happened around about this time, That was always a lot of fun, and I'm sure it will happen at some point this year. Like, don't think you're not going to get that. You will, just as soon as the guidelines change. And the engineering ball, as I mentioned before, it's a lot of fun. It's great mate to meet your peers outside of lectures. Yeah, that's me personally.
So another question's come through, said, do you work with industry? Yes, we absolutely do. So recently we did get some funding from Caterpillar to hold a design and create event, which was meant to be in March, but obviously because of the lockdown we weren't able to do that. But hopefully we can get that up and running again soon. But we also have talks from Airbus, Rolls-Royce, other leading industrial companies come in and give talks, whether that be careers or based on a single topic, to come in and inform you guys about what they're doing currently out in the industry to give you the best insight into the real world. So we try and work as closely with industry as we can to get you guys exposed to that.
Yeah. We're 100% not just here for the socials. We're here for if you've got any questions, anything you're worried about, you can 100% come to us. We're going to work on career things and things like that. Like, we're not just here to take you to Budapest. But right, with a minute to go, we've answered everybody's questions. It's been really nice chatting to you all. And if anybody has any other questions, our social links are in the bottom. Or feel free to drop any of us a message on Facebook as well, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can with whatever information we can. It's been really nice kind of chatting to you all.
Yeah,
it was lovely chatting to you guys.
And someone quickly, Richard has asked, are you running a quiz again this year? Yes, we will be. I believe we'll be running it next week, so if you check our socials, you'll be able to find that out. Cool. Okay. Thanks everyone for coming. And like Emma said, if you have any questions, feel free to message us, and we'll see you again soon.
Yeah.
Sarah, I'm the president, and so we've been a society for like 2 years now, and yeah, so here's just a bit about us. So if you can follow us on Instagram and Facebook, because we don't really have a formal list of members, so if you just follow us on social media to keep updated, and we just let all our members know what's going on from there. So last year we did loads of litter picks and canal cleans, and obviously this year it's difficult to run things like that, but hopefully in second term we'll be able to get more events up and running. We are currently thinking about running running litter picks in household groups, and so we'll probably start getting stuff together for that quite soon, and so it means that you can just do it in your own group, so you don't have to spread to other people, and we can give you the equipment, and you can just book in a slot to do a litter pick in whichever area you want to do it. We also have a netball team.
So my name's Bryony and I'm the sports rep, which was something we started up new this year. We're running Campus League netball games, which if you'd like to get involved with, if you join the Facebook group, which is called Plastic Free UOB Sport, and then I can put your name down, and our first match is this weekend on Saturday, which we're looking forward to. And then hopefully in the future we'll have some football and rounders and more casual sessions, but for the moment it's just netball.
So last year as well, Plastic Free UOB set up something called Huzzah. So if you join Huzzah UOB on Facebook, it's basically a student marketplace to sell things like textbooks, clothes, costumes, and household bits. The difference being with our Facebook page is that there's absolutely no postage, so we cut out all of the wasteful packaging and travel marks.
Currently we have an event called the Symposium, which is where people write a short little essay.
So we're doing this symposium event which is the chance for people to write short pieces of information about a topic of their choosing related to sustainability and living plastic free. And so those entries have been sent in, and then we're going to review them all on a panel and then start publishing them. Hopefully Sarah's coming back in. We're also looking to start doing potentially a blog where we can upload articles and educate people more about plastic free and sustainability.
So yeah, we also run canal cleans, which were a big success, so that was quite exciting, and we do them in partnership with the Canal and River Trust, who at the moment don't really want to be running events. And that's just where the Canal and River Trust bring a few boats. Some people go on the boats and some people go along the tow. Constant stories about how to reduce your single-use plastic, and also just like reduce things like fast fashion.
So sorry everyone, it looks like we're having some issues with plastic free all round with a few Wi-Fi matters. So the joys of Zoom, it looks like we're losing Sarah and Harriet, and it looks like Brian is still on mute.
Hello?
Plastic Free UOB is a fantastic new society. They've done amazing things over the course of the last year or so. Apologies if I'm repeating what you have managed to hear. I hope I can do them justice in a very brief second or so. This wasn't my plan to speak in at all, so please excuse me. So they've been working their magic doing canal cleans and river cleans all around campus for the last year or so. They've also launched a new sustainable fashion platform called Huzzah, previously called Bepops, for anyone who heard of that last year, and that is a clothes swap platform to try and reduce the use of fast fashion, such as those that we use for all of the brilliant bar crawls and events that you go on that always need a costume. So this is now a swap platform. If you have a look at their social media, they've got Huzzah plastered all over it, so you can absolutely go and find out how you can start swapping your items and find something really cool around the Edgbaston and Selly Oak area.
So there's a number of issues that we've been trying to fight on campus, so such as getting reusable cups implemented at the Guild.
Bryony, do you want to talk about any of the either symposium or the netball team that you've just set up?
Yes, okay, so so far we have a few people signed up to the netball team. Our first game is this Saturday at 2 o'clock. It's literally open to anybody, any abilities. It's mixed gender and anyone is welcome. If you want to drop me a message or join the Facebook page, then please do, because it would be great to have some new faces. It's literally anyone from any society, if you have an interest in plastic free. And then hopefully I'm looking forward to this year implementing a bit more of the plastic free ideas throughout sport across the university. So where we have tournaments and trophy games, looking to make sure that they're the most sustainable and eco-friendly as possible. So that's really my ideas for sport. And then hopefully when Corona has settled down a little bit, we'll be able to do some more casual games with rounders and football. But for the time being, it's just the netball campus league games, which I ran with chemistry last year, and it was really good fun. Looking to set up a bit of a blog so that we can post more information and educational material written by some of our members and also other people who are new to the society. So if you'd like to get involved with that, please do let us know. I'm sorry that it was so broken up and disjointed. Hopefully you can message us if you have any further questions. Thank you all for coming, and hopefully if you go to our social media pages on Facebook, you can get in touch.
Hi, so we're from EPS Mixed Netball. I'm Elizabeth, I'm the captain for this year.
And I'm Joe, and I'm the treasurer.
So we are a mixed team that play in Sunday to Campus League matches. We're from all aspects of EPS, and we're welcome to all of these, no matter if you've never played netball before or if you're just there for a good time and joining in some of our socials that we're planning on doing and things. We're really, really welcoming, and it's just more of a big laugh rather than a big serious netball game. We play on a Tuesday at 3 o'clock on the netball court for training, and then we also play in the Sunday Division 2 Campus League games, which are usually around 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock in the evening, and we play outside on the court. Our membership is £30 for the whole year, or £15 for just this first term, or we also do a £3 pay to play. Pay to play. This is Maya.
Hi, I'm Social Secretary for EPS Netball. Yeah, it's kind of a bit difficult at the moment, obviously, with COVID, but we'll have some exciting virtual things coming up as well.
If you want any more information about the team, you can find it on our Facebook page. Just search for EPS Mixed Netball, and we also have an Instagram page as well that you can find information on as well. And if anyone has any questions, feel free to ask away, or send a message on the Facebook page or on the Instagram. So we've managed to start training already this year. We've had 2 training sessions so far, and we also played a game on Sunday against Bedsock. We won the game against Bedsock on Sunday, 18-1. So we're a pretty good team actually, and the team's not very competitive. It's more of like whoever's available to play can play, and we take it more in turns. So this year, because of the COVID rules, we can only have 10 players available to play. So it's more of each week it will change who's available, and everyone will get a chance to play. There's no trials. There's only the one team. And we just kind of take it in turns to play. Everyone plays different positions. No one ever ends up playing the same position in every game. It's really, really casual. There's no trials or anything.
So if you would like to the first Tuesday training session will be your session, and then after that it is £3 if you want to pay every time you turn up, or if you pay £15 and have a membership for the whole of this. And then if you want to play for the whole year, it's £30 for the whole year. So the bank details for signing up are on the Facebook page. So if you send us a message and ask us if you will join, we will help you with that.
So we train on a 3 o'clock on the netball courts at 3 o'clock on Tuesday. So it's quite a casual training session. People don't turn up every week because people have lectures and things, and it's fine to come like halfway through as well. It's not you can come whenever, even if you come for like the first 10 minutes or last 10 minutes. It doesn't really matter either. In terms of paying, you get like 1 free taster session, and then after that it's like, if you want to join, you'll have to pay either membership or pay every time you come, £3 to play. But if you want to play in our Campus League games, you'll have to pay the membership, like the full membership. Yeah, so teacher, in terms of the rules of netball, some people that turn up have not played netball before. So you actually...
So the first time that I went, I'd played it about once or twice in primary school. Otherwise, I didn't know any of the rules. It was really helpful in pointing out when you've done something wrong, or teaching you some of the rules, and they can take you off court and point out, I've made this decision because of this. So it's really, really quick to pick up on the rules. The rules aren't too hard to understand anyway. So it's if you've never played netball before, it's one of the best places to come if you want to.
So if you need to contact us, it's best to message us through Facebook. We'll receive the messages almost instantly and try to reply as soon as possible. But yeah, that's the best way to ask any questions you may have after this this session as well.
So at the moment, we're actually playing a match every week. Last year, it was a bit different. It was like maybe every other week, or they weren't every week. But the Campus League, there's a lot more teams joined. So we're playing every week. And then if we get enough interest this term, we're looking at actually entering another team into some of the other leagues. So there's also Campus Leagues on a Thursday and a Saturday that we don't play in. But if we get enough interest this term and enough interest coming back next term, we're looking at entering us into the Thursday or Saturday league and the Sunday league. So we'd have maybe 2 matches a week rather than just 1 match a week like we are at the moment. So I tried out for the main netball team, the uni netball team, but it was a lot more competitive and they had like trials and it was really serious. Whereas so this is a lot more casual. There's like everyone's so welcoming and it gives you a chance to get to know different people from across like the EPS community, because we're not just like a engineering group, or we're not just a chemical engineering or just a physics. We're like a mix of so many different subjects, so you get a big like range of friendships from it.
Yeah, so I wanted to play netball because I used to play it a lot in secondary school. I used to play for my school team, and it was definitely something I wanted to continue when I came to uni, but I thought that the main uni team would be a bit too intense for me. And the fact that EPS netball is so relaxed and is for people of all abilities made me really attracted to join. Yeah, and I love it. I love like being able to still play netball whilst playing matches and like being with all my friends. Like it's great.
Yeah, so I was a lot the same. That it was a sport, but it wasn't too much of a commitment. So if you miss a because you've got a lecture running late, or if you're ill, it doesn't matter if you miss a training. It's not like one of the big university sports where if you miss a training session, you'll be off the team straight away. So I like the social aspect of it rather than just it being a sport.
So me and Joe, we both study civil engineering, and
I study mechanical engineering, but obviously it is EPS netball, so you have people from all the different colleges. So you've got maths people, chemistry people, chem-eng people. Yeah, it's definitely open to everyone in the college, in the school.
So with the COVID restrictions, the game of netball slightly changed in a few ways. So the 1 meter rule is now a 1.2 meter rule. So it's gone from 3 foot to 4 foot. It's very hard. It's quite hard to get used to. We're still learning at the moment how to do it. And there's a few different ways of like when you're setting up for a centre pass, you have to make sure you're keeping your distance, whereas usually you'd be up close and marking people. But all the teams in like the Campus League are dealing with the same restrictions. So, and the umpires are really good at enforcing them. And we're really careful with like cleaning the balls every 15 minutes, hand sanitizing when we're swapping bibs, like track and trace. There's like loads of restrictions in place to help us keep safe when we're playing, so we can still play and socialize with everyone. So there's 7 people on a netball team. In terms of the squad for a Campus League game, we have 10 people. That's like our maximum that Campus League are allowing us. But each week that 10 people might change if we get a lot of interest. So say that for Sunday, we've actually got 12 people. We'll have to say to 2 of them, like, sorry, you can't play this week, but next week you'll definitely be able to play if you're around. Or we'll say like, oh, if you can't play next week, you should play this week, and we'll do a little swap. So everyone gets a chance of playing. For our training sessions, we get around like 12 to like 16 people turn up usually. So there's usually like a few people umpiring, helping people learn the rules or practicing, and then a full 14 people playing. And in terms of socialising, I'll let our social sec answer that question.
So we haven't done any socials yet this year, obviously because it's a bit difficult with the new COVID restrictions. However, we will be doing more virtual events. We need to discuss that more, I think, as a team. However, last year we probably socialised about like 3 times a term maybe, and that would just be to the pub or to like the bar. Obviously we can't do that this year, so we're trying to come up with fun alternatives, shall we say, but try to keep the frequency the same, so like 3 times a term, maybe a bit more. We'll see what the interest is like.
So we don't get sports night tickets, and of course sports night's not happening this year, this term at the moment anyway. But what we do instead is we usually, so last year we used to go to the Fab night on a Saturday at the Guild, instead of a sports night, because we aren't technically like a UOB affiliated sport. We're like our own little one within EPS. So in terms of our sports night, we go to the pub or go out to a club in town or go to Fab on a Saturday night instead. So the ratio of boys to girls, so at our training session on Tuesday we had 3 boys and there was about 10 girls turned up. So it's a lot less, but it's a lot more than other teams. So on Sunday when we played against Bedsock, they had no boys at all and we had 3. So in terms of the ratio, our sport's a lot more 50-50 and at some points compared to others. So don't worry if like you're a boy and you're thinking you're just going to turn up and there's loads of girls. I mean, like Joe's on our committee, so he's going to be there every week anyway. So it's not like, don't stress about it if you're a boy and you're worried about that there'll be too many girls there. We probably do a lot better because we have more boys in our team, because they play differently and things like that, than if we just had a full team of girls. But in terms of actually playing the games, we are only allowed 3 boys on the court at a time in our Sunday Campus League games, and they have to be in separate thirds in terms of the netball court. So if we have more than 3 boys at a game, it does mean they'll probably play less than some of the girls just due to their rules and things. People have so in terms of positions, we let everyone try whatever they want to play. Some people of course prefer certain positions, and if you prefer one, you're allowed to play that. But in our training as well, we like to mix it up so much that everyone gets to play different things. And in the games, we let people play whatever they want to play and whatever they're comfortable playing, and just have a little bit of fun with it. Joe is 6'3", and we used to put him in keeper, and then we put him in goal shooter once just to try it out, and now he's our main shooter. So it's all about trying different things and trying new sport. So if you're interested, please come along to our training on Tuesday.
And that's probably our time up now. So if you've got any further questions, please send them along to the Facebook page or the Instagram page, and we'll.
Yeah, I've put the links in the chat for the Facebook page and the Instagram. So follow us, like our page, see what we've got coming up, and like Joe said, message us for any further queries that you have. We'll answer them as soon as possible. We're quite good at replying, I would say. So you don't have to wait too long.
The netball courts are the Bournebrook netball courts, where all the pitches are, so where the hockey pitches are near the Sports and Fitness Centre, along the south of campus. There's the netball courts on there if you if you know where they are. Thank you for coming.
Thank you everyone for coming.
Thank you. I hope to see you all on Tuesday.
Okay, great. Thanks everyone for joining and coming here to hear about Bromwich Racing today. So before I start, I'm just going to put a link in the chat. So this is where you can go and click here to sign up. There we go. That should have gone through. So if you follow this link, you'll be able to follow to our Google Forms sign up sheet. You can fill in your details and then you'll be added to our team there. So before we start our presentation, I think we'll let all of the team introduce ourselves. So first of all, me. My name is Liam and I'm in second year and I study mechanical engineering and materials science. And at Brumika Racing, I'm the team principal. So head over to the other team leaders. Dan, do you want to go first?
I think Joe's got himself muted. I'm Dan. I'm a fourth year mechanical engineering student. I've been here from 2017, just working on the bodywork and chassis team, and I'm now leading that particular section.
Hi, I'm Joe. I'm second year electronic engineering, and I'm the electronics lead this year. My second year in society, and hoping to do some good work.
Okay. So hi, I'm Kenneth. I'm a second year at computer science. I'm the outreach officer this year, so I'm responsible, obviously, outreach activities.
Awesome, great. That's everyone from the team introduce themselves. And also, if you have any questions throughout this, there's also a Q&A function, so you can type in your questions there and we'll endeavor to answer them. So our main presentation, right, I'll just start my screen share. Sorry, I need to give my sorry, I'm just giving my Mac permission to access this. I'm going to have to quickly jump out this call and reopen it to give it access. Dan, do you mind giving a brief introduction to the team itself, what we do, and the Shell Eco Marathon? Just, I know it's unplanned, but cheers.
Yeah, no worries. So the Shell Eco Marathon is obviously run by Shell. The plan is to create a ultra fuel efficient car that can go thousands of miles per gallon, ideally. It's an international competition. It's run in three particular sections. You've got the Americas, Europe, and Asia. Obviously, we take part in the Europe one, which is also the final. So we have teams from the Asian and American competitions coming over here as well. We've run in we've run in three. We've actually got a couple of decent laps in, considering we're a fairly new team. Obviously, some of these teams have been running for about 10 years. Competition takes place in London. Obviously, hasn't been taking place recently because of certain current events. And I think Liam's probably back with his presentation, hopefully now.
I'm back. Yeah, sorry about that. I had my MacBook reset last week and its permissions have been blocked again. So I should be able to screen share now. Yeah, this looks better. Right, does this seem to work?
Yep.
Awesome, right. Yeah, so what do we do? I shall just have a quick recap because I missed what Dan said. But I'm sure he mentioned the Shell Eco Marathon, which is a fuel efficiency competition. So we have to design a fuel efficient car that can go the furthest amount of distance using the minimum amount of fuel. So fuel efficiency. And we have the competition in July. But how do you make a fuel efficient car? So this is the car we have. The picture on the left is in the 2018 competition, I believe. And then on the right is the car in its current state. So when you want to make a fuel efficient car, ideally you want to be taking as much of the chemical energy in the fuel and putting it into a forward motion. And we want to reduce all of our losses. So you can see the shape of the car is for aerodynamic reasons to reduce our air resistance and the drag force through that. There's also only 3 wheels to reduce our contact points on the floor, which again reduces drag and reduces our losses, which is pretty cool. It's also very light. You can see it's made of carbon fiber and there's only room for 1 person inside. So they'll sit lying down feet first. This is a view from inside. You see on the left, there's the steering wheel. They lie with their feet going forwards into the brakes at the front. And then on the right, that's our engine compartment in the back. So we have our engine there and also the wheel that's driven there. So what are we doing this year? So we competed for 4 years so far, and this is our 5th one. So we'll be doing Brum 5, which is our 5th generation of the car. Now, to hear more about the particular areas in the car, the project leads that are with us will talk about those. So we'll start with Dan, if you're able to screen share.
Yep.
I'll just stop mine. There we go.
Should be able to see my screen now.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, so obviously chassis and bodywork team deal with the chassis and the bodywork. So what do? We design, build and maintain the chassis and the bodywork. So this year we're doing aerodynamics improvements to the car, we're building new components, and we're maintaining parts of the car already. We're also designing the new generation of the Brum car. So we've had this particular chassis for 4 years now. It still works, but it's got a bit of wear and tear on it. So we're hoping to, at some point soon, create a new one to well, hopefully get a better aerodynamic performance out. So in previous years, we've had a mix of designs. This is the very first one where it all started. Fairly low tech. It's steel bars with aluminium bits bolted on, with fairly knackered old rivets that we found lying around the place. Fairly quickly, we then moved on to a more high tech kind of thing, which is the car at the moment, which was molded out of carbon fiber, and parts of the team actually went and did that, which really was very educational. We got out there, we learned all the processes that were involved in making it, from the CAD all the way through making the plug and the molds themselves. And as you can see, it looks a lot more aerodynamic than where we started. Hopefully we'll be going on something a bit better next time. We've got a couple of ideas. This is just one of the concepts, but we're always open to more, and that's something that freshers can get involved in. Other things we've got going on. We've got projects around the monocoque itself, things like creating new windows, a new latching system, which is quite good problem solving. We've got aerodynamic problems to solve as well. So the wheels are aerodynamically rubbish. We need to try and somehow fix those. And we're also looking at designing a new car and all that stuff that freshers can get involved in. So that's the bodywork side of it. As Liam said, if there's any questions or anything, just put them in the chat box and I'll try and answer them throughout the rest of this. I think if we hand over to Joe.
Yeah, so Joe is on electronics. We'll let him go next.
Okay, let's do that. Should be able to see that, and then does that work?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, brilliant. So yes, hello, this is Electronics. I'm Joe, the project lead. And what do? Oh, don't know how it's happened. So we designed and developed the car's telemetry system, which is a series of sensors monitoring data about the car. So for example, we've got a tachometer on the wheels to check the car's speed. We've got temperature sensors. We've got GPS in there. And then they will feed back to a little Arduino, which then communicates with radio back to the ground, so you can monitor the car in real time in the competition. And then if any other team needs some sensors adding, that's our job to add them. And we'll also help other departments if any of their things start getting a little bit too electrical for them. So what do we use? We're mainly using Arduinos at the minute. We've got an Arduino Uno powering the current system. And then this is the Arduino IDE on the right. It's very simple to get into. It's based on C, so a lot of freshers will be familiar with it, and it's a great way to learn. It's very simple. You just plug it in, program it, job done. And we also use a good dash of magic, prayers, and also shell VPower to get it working. This year's project, we've got 3 main areas. We've got Project A, which is taking our current telemetry using Arduino Uno and Vero boards which are a basic type of board, and then making it into a custom PCB with Arduino and breakout boards. This will make it a lot more pretty to look at, a lot more professional to look at, and it'll just be neater and more rigid in general. Project B is to install the ECU, new ECU onto the car. So this is working a bit with the engine team as well. So when we get back into labs and get back working on the car, we'll install the ECU and then troubleshoot any problems that might arise from that. And then finally, Project C is supporting our programming department with their air ratio machine learning project, integrating that into the car, and that would involve interfacing the ECU and also playing with some more sensors as well. This is a general timeline for this year. So you can see in July we have our competition, and this is an approximate idea of where we're going to go and what goals we need to hit. And yeah, so how do you get involved? You can join our Microsoft Teams, turn on notifications to the electronics channel, which is where I'll be posting updates. Like one of the projects I just mentioned and comment to get involved, and then make some posts or DM me in person to get involved. And yeah, that should be me.
Perfect. And then finally, to show that we're not just all about engineering, we do some other fun stuff as well. Canis, our outreach officer, will very briefly talk to you about some of the outreach projects we're planning to do.
Yes, I'll just share the screen. Right here. Is everyone seeing it?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay, good. So I'm responsible for the outreach sector. So technically, starting from last year, we went to the Central Scanning Limited to get a 3D model of a car for wind tunnel testing, obviously. And this on the left is the team that went to the Central Scanning Limited, and we've got a very nice model of a car, which is on the left, and on the right is how they scan our car. Well, I wasn't there in person, but if anyone's interested, ask Liam. And we also presented.
Sorry to interrupt. Your screen seems to have stuck there.
Wait.
There, I can see it now.
Okay, great. And we also went to the NEC Birmingham for the World Skills event. So it was to represent Shell. We were invited by Shell and the Department for Transport to showcase our car, but we were formally to represent Shell there. We were interviewed by the Birmingham Mail, and we spoke to kids and stuff about car and how to inspire kids on doing more like scientific stuff. Also take part on a Take a Closer Look campaign, which is on the next page. On the right, that is Take a Closer Look campaign. And on the right, it was just showcasing our engine. And for this year, we're planning to do a Pitch the Future. So it's a project entry competition for schools. And we are also planning to do a webinar with WISE, but we still need to plan that. So for Pitch the Future, we are doing a Shell Eco. We're as inspired from Shell Eco Marathon, the virtual league. We are going to inspire students from school to design and act to make our everyday life greener, and to give them a chance to apply STEM skills towards solving real-world energy challenges. So the idea is we'll give them some projects to work on, and then they could ask us questions, I'm assuming, and then we could put together an entry design and to make them realize that what we could do in our power to make our lives greener. And that's pretty much it. Okay.
Perfect. Thanks, Canis.
Yeah.
I'll go back to mine briefly so we can sum up. Right, so other things that we'll be doing. There's also the engine team. You'll be able to get involved in that. You can see our engine on the right there. This is a very small Honda engine, 1 cylinder, has a 4-stroke engine cycle, and it's got a very small fuel tank for fuel efficiency. Yeah, there's a few other things there. We'll also be doing a Brum 5 Mini project. While we can't get access to our labs, we'll be making a smaller robot version of our car. This will be 3D printed, Arduino powered, we'll have some sensors on it. We'll initially be able to control it by remote control before we'll eventually planning to do autonomous. So that's something you can get involved in straight away if you're interested in electronics. Here's a video of our car as well at the competition. So that's it going around. So how do you join? So we do all of our internal team communications on Microsoft Team. There is a sign-up sheet in the chat that you can click to sign up there. Also, if you follow our social medias, there's also links in the bios there, and you'll be able to follow us for team updates. So that's about it. Other questions though, there's currently no fees to join. So it's a great opportunity to get involved. And it's yeah, you'll be able to lead your own learning in this. You know, learn exactly what you want. If you spot something on the car you can improve, you can go for it. It's a great opportunity to lead your learning. So that's about it for us. Thanks everyone for listening. And if there's any more questions, put them in the Q&A and we'll answer them.
Hello, my name is Fode Kamara, and I'm in my third year studying chemical engineering, and I'm the co-president of BEAMS. I think we have Toby as well here. I'll just let Toby introduce himself. And Toby, if you can just introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Toby. I'm co-president of BEAMS with Fode as well. I'm in my third year of chemical engineering. Yeah.
So just to continue with this presentation in Q&A, we don't actually have a PowerPoint. We're just going to talk through some of the stuff that we do and what we've planned. So BEAMS was formed about 3 years ago, and it was formed to basically create awareness and to promote equality and diversity within the School of EPS. And we work in collaboration with a lot of officers at the school to just improve the diversity and the inclusivity of the event that we organize. If I'll just pass it on to Toby to talk about the things that we've planned and what we've done in the past.
Yeah, so last year we did a CV workshop, and we also did a dinner with BEAMS, so which was like a great way for minority students to like come around and meet like other people of color under like the engineering and physical science school. And we also did an assessment center, which was planned towards students applying for placements and stuff, so to give them an idea of what to expect in assessment centers. And we did a few games nights, sober socials and all that, just to like encourage like interaction and networking among students as well. So this year we're still going to run the CV workshop and the assessment center. And for, I think it's going the 16th, isn't it? It's going to be the BHM conference. So we're teaming up with 3 other societies, BEAM, TC, and ACS, to run the Black History Month conference, which is going to be on the 16th. Yeah. And yeah, it's nice to meet you.
Yeah, so there's not a lot to say about BEAMS. Basically, we try to provide you with the opportunities and in terms of careers, and maybe just point you in the right direction, bring in people to talk about their experiences, the challenges they face within their industries or when they were studying at university, just so that BME or minority students can have that sense of understanding to see how they can cope with all those challenges that they're currently facing. And yeah, just to make it better and just for BME students to feel like they belong in the EPS community. And yeah, and the last 3 years we've done quite well. We've won the Diversity and Inclusion Award, and last year we won the Equal in STEM event, which was the Outstanding Event Award in collaboration with WISE and STEM. So we're quite a small society, but we're making sure our members are enjoying their time and making use of the opportunities that we're providing. Like I said, we're not here to talk too much, so if anyone's got any question, then you can ask, and if not, we'll just talk, and maybe me and Toby can just basically ask ourselves some questions while we've, yeah. So just wait a few seconds to see if anyone's got a question.
It's a question up, yeah. It's pretty much like they follow our social media pages and all that, and for updates for events, you don't have to do anything formal to join. You just sign up via email, I think, and you're pretty much part of the society. Am I right to say that, Fode?
Yeah, sort of. So like we don't have like a specific like joining kind of thing. I think most of the EPS societies are like that, but obviously we have our mailing list, our Canvas sign up. So if you're interested in being part of BIMS, we'd send out Canvas course link for you to register. Basically, it's just so that you're updated with the things that we do and any opportunities that we have for you. Yeah, and we've recently got a group chat as well, so for anyone who wants to get involved.
So it's a WhatsApp group chat, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you want to join, we could always add you on. And the next question says, what's your favorite thing about BIMS? Fode, do you want to go first on this one, or do I go first?
I can go first. So for me, BIMS, because obviously the EPS community, I think I've met quite a few people now since I've been part of BIMS, learned from other people from the past years, and it's just the community, having that community, people who you share similar things with, just friendship and all that. I think it is really good. And just having the opportunity to particularly the careers event, and being part of BIMS as well, there's so much support as well, I think, because with the careers, I've had a lot of emails, careers wanting to support the BME community. So I think, yeah, for me. What about you, Toby?
Yeah, I think for me, yeah, it's that thing of meeting people from different parts of the world, learning about different cultures, being social with them, learning about their perspectives and all that. And also, like you said, when it comes to the professional side of things, it's that help with CV, because in first year coming into uni, like I had no idea that like I needed to like start working on my CV early on, but through the BIMS society, I found out like accesses to helps that could like help me build my CV, from the Careers Network to, I think is it Richard Newman, I think, that runs that workshop. Yeah, he ran that workshop every single year for BIMS for the last 2 years. So it's helped me build my CV, assessment centers to prepare for like placement applications and all that. Yeah. Why did we join? I think for me, sorry if I go first for that, I think for me it was that idea to be part of something that like you're helping to like push the narrative, in a sense that you want to see students of color do well. So it's something that like I'm really passionate about. That was why I joined BIMS, and in fact I joined straight as a committee member instead of just an ordinary member, because like it was something I was really passionate about, just to see students of color do well and possibly improve the attainment gap that is between students of color and white students, pretty much. Yeah, so just to improve the performance and experience of minority students. That was why I joined.
I mean, for me it was because I attended the first networking. That was when I was in first year. BIMS organized the networking dinner. So there, just like Toby said, I got to meet people from industry. They talked about like CV and personal branding, things they encountered, how you can improve and that stuff. And I was really glad I went to that, because that opened my eyes to things I should start thinking about when I was in my first year. And if I hadn't, I would not be thinking about them at that time. So it was good for me just going there. And I think the same day, I think they said, oh, if you want to join the society, put your name down. And I was like, why not? This sounds promising and interesting. So yeah, I did join. And then since then, I've been part of BEAMS, and it's been good so far. And it has given me a lot of skills that I can use in my CV, in applications. And yeah, I'm glad to be part of BEAMS.
What happened at dinner with BEAMS? Do you want to go for this one for the or?
I could say the dinner with BEAMS. So for the first year, last year, we did it combined with an assessment center activity. So in the past, it has just been a networking kind of thing where you get to meet with other students from the EPS background, and you meet with industrial representatives as well from companies such as Jacobs. I think Jacobs and WSP. So, but last year we combined it with an assessment center activity. So basically just to give students an idea of what they need to start thinking about if they're going to make applications. So it was in a group exercise kind of thing. And you have different groups, and then there was feedback, which was quite good to see how you worked well in a team, what you contributed, and just having that feedback. And then there was actually food as well, nice food available, so which was good, food and drinks, and yeah, it was just nice, you know, the dinner with BEAMS.
Yeah, and since we did it joint with the assessment center, like what they said, they gave a feedback, and the feedback would highlight your strengths, so like the skills you've naturally got, and like possibly things on. So which was quite good, like because when we did it last year, I found out that like when it comes to working with a team, I'm good, but I'm not really time focused. So it really points out like the little details and things you should improve on. So that was why I really enjoyed it, and I think it's a good thing. I will keep running it every year. Yeah.
And just to add on to that, so with the questions before, how did you join BEAMS? So mainly, if you just follow our social media platforms, you don't have to be a committee member right now, because we all our positions are filled up, I think. But next year you may want to take a role, you know, so just follow us on Facebook and social media. So we've posted that on the chat, so you can see that. And yeah, just to keep you updated with things that we've got planned for you, and opportunities that we can provide.
Do we have a link to the BHM conference? Okay, yeah. Oh, someone's even asking about it already. You mentioned you're hosting a BHM conference. Can you tell us a bit more? So yeah, it's a combined event with, like I said, BEMA, ACS, and TCU, which are other societies for minority students. So basically what we're doing is that I think we're inviting about 3 speakers.
Yeah.
So I can't remember. One of them is going to speak on correct me if I'm wrong, on their experience in the workplace. One's going to speak on his experience growing up as a minority, just in general, and like the struggles and challenges he went through. And one other person is going to talk about being a student of color at the university. Am I right to say that for them?
Yeah.
And we've also got, I think we're in
say that again.
I said we're running a cult quiz as well. Yeah, so which is going to be based off Black History Month facts, so like things that have to do with like minority and possibly how would I word this? So just like benchmarks throughout history that relates back to Black history pretty much. And I think there's going to be prizes as well. So which is going to be a branded t-shirt with a few quotes of Martin Luther King on it. I think for 2 or 3 winners, I'm not sure. Then are we doing the vouchers as well?
No, just
No, we're not doing the vouchers, just the T-shirts.
and there'll be as well a musical performance, I think, a spoken word poem from a student as well at the University of Birmingham. So that would be good. It'll be good just to hear from other people, you know, just so you have that some of that knowledge, you know, and just meet with other people, celebrate Black history, and that. I think our time is almost up, but for more information, just follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and just stay updated with all the things that we've got planned. And yeah, I think that's it. So yeah, thank you very much for listening and for tuning in.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And yeah, hopefully we'll see you at our events.
Yeah, I think it's on the 16th for the BHM month one. Yeah.
Cool.
Do we have a sign up link to that we can upload, or no, just do it through our social media adverts?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. Thank you very much.
Hello, everyone. We're here from CivSoc, and we're going to do a little presentation, a bit about CivSoc, and give you the chance to ask us any questions about the society or just the course in general. So we'll start off introducing our committee this year. So we've got myself as president. My name is Rowan. We've got Poppy, who's our vice pres, and she'll be in charge of the hoodies. He's in charge of the family scheme as well. We've got our treasurer, Joseph, and he's in charge of all our finances this year. We've got Ollie Odell, who is he's our secretary. So he monitors our emails, communications, that sort of thing, takes minutes for us. And then we've got Tim, who's our industrial liaison. He'll be doing talks on industry and hopefully building up some links as well with them. And the rest of our committee, we've got Sarah, who is our international rep. So she's responsible for representing any international students on course. She's also been involved with the family scheme and reaching out to other people. We've got Gareth, who's our sports sec. So he's in charge of our football teams this year and any sports collaborations with other societies. And we've got two social secs who are Will Fool and Jan Luca, who they ran their last social last week, which was great fun. We've got another one coming up in a couple of weeks' time, and I'll talk a bit about that in a moment. And also, eventually, we'll be looking out for two first-year reps this year, who will be committee members. It's a good role to have on your CV. It's not too much hard work. You turn up to meetings, represent your cohort, and you can help us relay information and get the best for our first-year representatives. So we'll start with our socials. We've got a few pictures from our socials last year. This year, unfortunately, they'll be virtual, but we can still guarantee a great laugh. I know the last one we went to was a virtual pub night and a quiz, and it was one of the best I think it was some of the best fun I've had in a while. It was really good fun and get to meet new people. And then we'll have some information posted on our Facebook page, our Instagram stories, and also our WhatsApp group, which will be getting emailed out again soon. Then
the next social
is
the next social is a Scriblio event happening next week. Do you know what date it is?
It's Thursday the 29th of October.
Thursday 29th of October. Also, might just add that although those pictures are all from the same night out at Rosie's, a lot of socials are also do like sober socials. So every year we do
Christmas meals
normally, rush trampolining. Of course, not many of these going ahead this year due to current circumstances, but we hopefully maybe towards June, the end of the year, we might be able to do some more in-person socials, but we don't know.
We can hope.
Yeah, well, next year at least. Let's hope next year.
So as I mentioned, our socials are organised by our social secs, Will and Luca, and they're always happy to welcome any ideas and feedback from you guys. So if you want to message them privately on Facebook or use our CivSoc WhatsApp chat, if you've got any ideas for socials or anything that you'd like to see from us this year, that'd be brilliant. So sports. So as I mentioned, we've got Gareth, who's our sports rep this year. He played in the football teams last year, and he's running them again this year. Currently, we've got an 11-a-side on Wednesdays. We've got our first game today, and we've got 6-a-side on Mondays. We've got group chats for both of these, so if you're interested, give Gareth Proctor a message and he'll help you get involved. We'll also be hopefully entering teams into tournaments run by university or EPS, which is, as you will know, the College of Engineering and Physical Sciences, so they go ahead. We've competed in sports such as netball, touch rugby and rounders last year. And we've got talks of having friendly netball games with EPS netball as well throughout this semester and next semester, hopefully. So if you've got any more questions about sport, you can contact Gareth via his Insta there, or just message him via Facebook. Right, on to Tim.
Okay, so like I said, CivSoc is known for being really proactive when it comes to careers, help and advice, as well as its links to industry, and this year is hopefully going to be no exception. So I'm going to be running a couple of online events this year to help people with their professional development, CVs, applications, if you're looking for summer placements. This year we're looking at the Respect scheme still going ahead, so we're going to be helping students prep for that as well, to help students find placements. Currently, this year already, we've ran the Intro to Careers, This is Engineering New Introductory Careers event last week. PowerPoint from that is up on the CivSoc Facebook page. And then next week, I'm going to run a CV help session. And then following that is going to be an application advice session in a couple of weeks' time. And then hopefully at the end of this semester, I can organise a alumni networking event where you get to talk and network with a speed networking event with other alumni who've done civil engineering. For more information, check out the CivSoc Facebook page, Instagram, and the WhatsApp group. What else? We're currently talking with a representative from Balfour BT to try and run an event in conjunction with WISE and WES and Beams. And I talk about applying and working for Balfour. So hopefully that's in the early stages at the moment, but hopefully that'll go ahead soon, sometime this semester. And also maybe something with CADSoc, but that's still, again, ironing out. Yeah, so let's go. So how to get involved. So you can join our Facebook group, sign up for a free membership via the Guild Students website, follow us on Instagram, as well as we've got a WhatsApp this year, we've got a WhatsApp group where essentially it's just going to be used for notifications, contacting other people on your course, on your year on your course. And that's where we're going to be putting out a lot of our event stuff as well if you don't have Facebook, because we know a lot of people who don't have Facebook. But again, most of the information we're going to be giving you is going to be on Facebook group or on Instagram. We're also, like I said before, looking for first year reps. But if you're really interested in that, give us a message. Something you might be interested in. The role of the first year rep is to essentially relay your experience of the first year back to us so that we can help improve and maybe do some stuff that first years are looking for. Because you think we're fourth years, and so the university's changed a lot in the last 3 years. So there might be some niche that's missing that you can tell us about. It's also, like I said, a great role that looks good on your CV.
It's also, I think we've got 2 or 3 people on committee this year who were previously first year reps. So if it's something that you're interested in being a bigger part of the society, it's a really great way in. You can start building relationships with us within the society. And as I say, it does look very good on your CV, these sort of committee roles.
Yeah. How many people turned up to the virtual pub night last time?
I think we had there was 20 odd on the call, and there was quite a few people who had multiple people on the same screen.
Yeah, which was, I think that's another thing about CivSoc. It's a really good community, and you get to know loads of people. So, people on your course, and of course now with the current situation, it's quite hard to get to know people on your course. So I think it's a great way of doing it.
Yeah, you could end up like we are, living with each other.
Yeah, you could.
And we found CivSoc. Certainly from my first year, it's really useful to get to know people in my year, but also in years above me to help with studying, give ideas on where to go, who to go to for what. It's a really nice little community that we've got going at the minute.
Yeah.
Perfect. I'll go on to give you a few minutes to ask any questions of us.
Just pop them in the chat.
So if there's any, so we've got a question saying, why did you join CivSoc? So when I first arrived at uni, I got to know CivSoc through fairs like this. And personally, I wanted to join to be able to meet other people on my course and get to know them better, not just through events, but also like on socials, and also for sports. I played for the football teams throughout my time, which have both been, they're really casual. You don't need to be too good. And also a huge thing was the large thing for me was actually the industrial advice that CivSoc gives out. So I think without the industrial advice that we got given by CivSoc, I don't think I would have got a placement in my first or second year. So I really value what Tim's doing this year, and I can't stress enough just how useful these talks will be for your career development.
Yeah. So we're just going to try and put some links to that in the chat right now. Yeah. So yeah, like I said, I think the community, little community you've got in CivSoc is probably one of the main reasons why, like, I went to a first meeting and then went to the rest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And hopefully it'll be the same for any new first years who've got joining us this year. We've already got started seeing some new faces at our socials, it's brilliant. We love to see that. Hopefully it will continue throughout this year.
Yeah.
This is one for you, Tim. What is the Respect Scheme?
Okay, so the Respect Scheme is a placement scheme run by the university every year that essentially you send off one application to about a dozen companies, and these are the largest civil engineering companies in the UK, all offering placements in Birmingham. So companies such as Atkins, Kia, ACOM, WSP, Balfour Beatty, I think Interserve was one a couple of years ago, like Laing O'Rourke, like a lot.
It's about 16, 17, I think.
Yeah, 16, 17. And so you send off one application to them through the university, and then those companies read your application and get back to you and invite you for an interview at the university. And then you go for an interview stage, and then hopefully you get a placement, and that's it. It's probably one of the best ways to get a placement because it's so simple. It's a really simplified way of getting a placement.
You have one application, don't you?
There's just so many less hurdles compared to regular applications. So yeah, if you're looking for summer placement, it's the best. Or summer or year-long placement, it's the best way to get one.
And you say the companies that come to Respect are looking for Birmingham students.
Yeah.
So you've automatically got a foot in the door already, and got a bit of a head start. So yeah, if you want to get involved with Respect, it would be a great thing. So one question we've got is, you're good at sport, don't you play the staff when you were able to? So last year we had a staff versus students football tournament. It was a little five-a-side where we had different people from, like, I think it was split into different year groups, and we did one at Christmas, and we were planning to do one afterwards as well. We sometimes have friendlies against the staff as well, and it's a good way to get to know the staff a bit better, rather than just having them teach you in a lecture. Currently, in the current situation, we're not sure whether we'll be able to do friendlies with the staff, as they don't come under organised sport, but it's certainly something we're looking into for later on in the year, because they're always good fun.
Yeah,
and we normally get a few spectators along as well, so it's always a good day, good afternoon.
Yeah. What so you mentioned football and that, you mentioned netball.
So for netball, we didn't get the numbers for netball this year. However, there is a EPS college netball team which we can recommend joining. I believe they've got Facebook pages and whatnot.
Yeah.
And again, if you contact Gareth about that, our sports rep, he'll be able to tell you a little bit more.
Yeah. And that is, I think
that's most things we've got. We'll be having some merch come out a bit later on in the year, and hopefully we'll be having a logo competition as well, where we'll have essentially competition over Instagram and Facebook. People send in their
designs for a new logo, and we're going to try and then we'll have a competition to pick one.
And
hopefully the winner will get a little prize, and also we'll be able to have
their logo on all our CivSoc merch.
Yeah,
there'll be the new logo of CivSoc, which will be very exciting.
Very exciting, yeah.
Thank you, Grace, for sharing the EPS netball link for us. If anyone's interested in joining the EPS netball, they can click on the link in the chat. Yes, so our next social is Thursday the 29th, I believe. Let me just check that. Yeah, so it's Thursday the 29th. It's a Scribblio social, so it's very relaxed. If you haven't played before, It's like Pictionary online, and we'll have a Zoom call for it. We'll post details about this on our details on this on our WhatsApp chat and on our Facebook and on our Insta. And after we finish this, we'll put the links for these pages into the Zoom chat for you. Perfect. Well, I think that's everything from us.
I think that's, yeah.
Well, thank you for attending, and hopefully you've had some questions answered. If you've got any more to ask about CivSoc, just feel free to give us a message. Perfect. Thank you very much.
So obviously we're at OSTEM. I'm Claire. I use she, they pronouns, and I am currently the chair of OSTEM.
Hi, I'm Jack. She, her. I'm the publicity officer for OSTEM.
And Luke will be joining us as well. So essentially we'll run through our slides, explain who we are. Feel free to put any questions in the Q&A and we will look for those and answer those questions. So who is OSTEM? OSTEM stands for Out in Science, Technology, Engineering and Maths. We're basically a society looking to support LGBTQ students in STEM, but also if you have any interest in STEM, we'll happily welcome you. We cater for both postgraduates and undergraduates, but we also have another chapter run by alumni of the university for postgraduates and professionals. So some of the events that we run.
Every Monday at 7, we have an online quiz run by members of the society or members of the other OSTEM society. It's a joint event between the two. Then every Tuesday at 6, we have our weekly coffee social, which we've now moved online as well. Everything we do is online now. So those are our regular weekly events. Then we also have the speaking out events, which are our speaker events that are generally one per term. Our watch parties, where we all watch a film, or if there's an event relating to OSTEM, we sometimes get a group together for that as well. Those are more irregular things. And then we have the STEM LGBTQ and U conference that runs each year, which is now a broader thing beyond just our OSTEM chapter. And so then coming up soon, we have a special weekly social. We're running an EGM to elect a first-year representative, which is a committee role we introduced last year for a first year to represent the views of first years and what they want from the society. And also it will be to celebrate the 5th birthday of the society's, since the society was formed. And that's on the 20th of October at 6 PM on our Discord. So if you want to find us, you can, obviously we're on the Guild website. If you just search for OSTEM, you should find us. Then we also have social media. We've got Facebook, OSTEM UOB, Instagram, OSTEM Birmingham, and then Twitter, OSTEM_BHAM. And if you go to there, you can find links to our Discord server where all of our events will be.
So this is basically just a summary of what we've said. So obviously our upcoming events and just our general social media. A few extra things. If you check out our website, we do also have information, some links out to our various different social media platforms. We also have some EPS Societies Awards. So we were the 2019 Society of the Year, and we've won some awards for our conference as well. Our regional coordinator, Avery, also has done quite a lot of work with us.
Search for OSTEM.
and should be able to kind of help us out with anything, any events that anyone might want to see running. The best place to get a hold of us is actually joining our Discord and then continuing to use our suggestions in that section. I believe our social media representative, Luke, might have joined us.
Yes, I'm attempting to get everything working, but I can hear everything. Hopefully you can hear me. I will post links to the social medias that we've mentioned in the chat in a second. But yeah, the Discord is the best place to get in touch with us. It's both ours and OSTEM Professionals Discord shared server.
I guess we can just talk through kind of what we've been planning for our upcoming quizzes. So basically the way that that runs is every week we have one of the members of committee, or now recently we've opened it up to members as well, prepare a various, it's quite chaotic, but a various different quiz sections. So we had things like, what did I find in my shed this weekend? Also, is this an IKEA song, or is this an IKEA chair furniture, or is this a Swedish song? That kind of thing. It's really just whatever anyone wants to do their quiz on. And then we go through on our Discord into our different groups, and we answer the questions by sending them to the person hosting it. And we read all of our questions via the chat. It works quite efficiently. Jack, what's the most interesting quiz that we've had?
I'm a big fan of the 10 minutes to recognize as many vines as you can from like 71-second clips.
That was an interesting one. Hi, we have a question. So do you join up with other LGBTQ+ STEM orgs or other unis or in industry to organize events? Yes, we do. So we have quite a lot of connections with different LGBTQ+ STEM organizations. Firstly, we have kind of like links with LGBT STEM and the Steminar. Our conference also usually we look for LGBTQ+ STEM organizations to talk to. OSTEM Incorporated is actually our overall incorporated American company type thing. They basically oversee what we do, and we're one of the chapters of them, so they're hosted in America. We also have links with, I think, the STEM Tigers and various different kind of Twitter networks as well. We are currently planning one of our Speaking Out events, which is an event that we do once termly, where we network with different LGBTQ+ STEM people, and they come in and discuss their experiences as LGBTQ+ in STEM. This year we're looking to market that slightly differently, so we're partnering with OSTEM Birmingham professionals and postgraduates, and we're going to be making it more of a networking and careers event. So we'll have people talking, but we'll also have networking afterwards to talk with people. So unfortunately our social media representation has left because Zoom has crashed for him. So Jack and I will continue.
I've posted our social media links into the chat if anyone wants those. The Guild, Twitter, Facebook and Instagram ones are all there.
So hopefully that answered your question. I think other universities wise, we do usually look for those for our conference, but we haven't got any direct links unless another OSTEM chapter opens somewhere in the UK. We do often liaise with the OSTEM chapters, but in America, so that's kind of our link for universities. Jack, anything to add?
I think that about covers it, yeah.
But, based on, for our weekly coffees, I guess we can get into a bit more detail about what we do in them. Mostly we try and replicate what we do in real life in person, which is we start at 6, we wait 20 minutes for everyone to arrive, usually letting them into the building, but now I guess it's just more of a waiting for people to open Discord. Then we continue until around 8. We usually just do whatever in those 2 hours. Sometimes that's playing Scriblio, and sometimes that's just, I think one time we spent 2 hours talking about our various different desktop setups for computers. So it really varies, but it is kind of more of a chat and a socializing session. I guess for the EGM, that's obviously coming up soon. So if anyone wants to get involved and as a first year, that's quite a good opportunity to do it. We will be asking for people to prepare a short 2-minute-ish speech, kind of give that. If you can't be there, you can send us that speech and we will read it out as a member of committee. Then we'll use, we haven't decided exactly how we're going to do the voting online yet, but it will be on our Discord. And then we'll announce who it is. You basically just represent the views of your year, ensure all of the events are accessible, and also help committee with running OSTEM. It should be, even if you don't want to run for the EGM, quite an interesting Tuesday, because we're also going to be trialing a new software that we'll be using for various events, which should allow people to interact a bit more online. Should be a bit more natural and interesting. I think we'll be able to do themes, which will be fun.
That's one thing we do miss by going online is we hope we have our themed socials throughout the year generally, where like we have like a Halloween one and like the winter festive one and Easter and so on, and we'd have decorations and our snacks would be themed, which is obviously quite hard to do when you can't really steam a video call.
Yeah. Other than that, I mean, most interesting but also most niche thing is obviously the watch parties, which were mostly just born out of we all wanted to watch Twilight together, and now it's a thing, and we're watching all of the Twilights and the director's cuts twice every month up until like I guess it'll be January or February. I guess this is what happens when you have a lot of interesting characters on committee. We come up with ideas like this. We also, I mean, it was kind of a collaboration between everyone that was on the Discord from previous OSTEM members, plus us on committee, plus everyone that's joined has been really interested in it as well. It doesn't really fit our theme too much, apart from just being kind of nerdy and niche in that respect. But it's been quite interesting and a good way to get more people involved, I think.
It's been a fun adventure seeing all those films for the first time.
Yeah, but also we kind of approach it as like a STEM LGBTQ society would. So there's a lot of talking about what's actually happening as we watch it. And why have they chosen this coloring for this scene? I think we only have a couple of minutes left. So I guess I'll just take the opportunity to talk about much further into the future. We obviously don't know what next semester will look like, but we will still be running our conference. It'll be around February time like usual, so this will be the 3rd year of running it. Jack and I are currently on the committee that's organising that conference, so that should be interesting. But just generally, if anyone watching has any people or anything that they would like to see at that conference or any ideas for it, we would be open to people sending in their suggestions for that.
Yeah, and finally, I managed to get on properly, and all of the links to all our socials and things have just been put in the chat.
For the last 2 minutes.
Yeah, for those who want to join, you can either go through our Facebook, and there's all the information there, which Claire has mentioned about the EGM and all our events that are being done. They all get posted on Facebook. There's a private chat and a private page, and then there's a public page and then a private group. If you just message the public page, you can be added to the private group, which says all the messages for. And also the Discord link is the top of those links there, which is where we hold all of our events.
I guess we'll end it there, and the next group can present there. Thank you everyone for listening to us speak, and thank you for the question. Hopefully we answered it well.
Thanks everyone for coming. Hope to see some of you.
Bye.
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 Hello and welcome to the Space Society. We're a relatively new society, mostly focused on space stuff, of course. and the projects that we like to do. This is our second year doing the rocket competition and our first year doing a rover competition. Here is our rocket from last year. Liam, do you want to speak quickly about this?
Yeah, so the rocketry competition that we compete in, the goal of that is to purely go the highest altitude. So we build model rockets, and we use a solid rocket motor as propellant, which is just basically a solid explosive that you ignite, and then it produces hot gas out the bottom and produces a force which makes you go up. Here's the one from the pictures. Some improvements we're making this year. We need to make some improvements to the parachute system, electronics inside. We've got a bunch of guided electronics as well, which are used to measure the orientation, the altitude, the direction it's going, GPS position. There's going to be all sorts of cool stuff you can get involved in with that.
So I'd like to quickly introduce our rover project lead, Esha, who's going to talk a bit more about the outside of the rocket.
Hello, I'm Esha, and I'm the rocket competition project lead for this year. So what we're trying to make this year is the nose cone, body part, and the fins. And we are gonna make the body part out of the cardboard. And we are planning on making the nose cone and fins 3D printed. Because we have like 3D printers available for the manufacturing in our society. And Liam will talk about the payload and electronics ahead. Thank you.
Yeah, so the electronics, as Esha said, sorry, Hader, are you screen sharing?
Yep, sure.
An initial prototype of the electronics. You can see there's something called an Arduino Nano at the very bottom. This is a microcontroller. You program it, and it does whatever you want, really. You can do loads of projects with it. Some other components dotted around. There's a transceiver, so you can send the telemetry back to our ground station. You can see exactly what the rocket's doing, and it can also receive commands. And then there's the other sensors, like something called an MPU, which has a gyroscope and an accelerometer, so we can measure the orientation. And there's also a barometer, which measures the air pressure, and using that you can work out your altitude. That's how we know how high we go. This year, obviously, these are some kind of pre-made components. We're going to be designing something called printed circuit board, or PCB, where we exactly design all the tracings between components. So this will allow us to make it more durable, make it lighter, make it stronger, and all around improve our designs.
Thank you, Liam. We'll quickly show you some of the improvements we can make to the rocket by using automated design software. If I can get this up. So here is a piece of software we like to use called RocketSim, and you can use this to basically design some of the rocket for you. It will run through calculations and figure out what the best kind of way is to design your rocket, essentially. Next thing we'll go to is the rover competition.
So I'm Orimus. I'm the chassis lead and project lead along with Jack for the rover competition. The rover competition is basically designing a rover for a specific task, outlining the rules for each year's competition. This year, it's picking up a drink can that's supposedly a connector and bringing it over to another place and plugging it into a slot that's going to be marked somehow. We're not really sure how that's happening yet because we haven't done it before. As the chassis lead, I'm responsible for all the physical components like the drivetrain, the grabber arms that we'll need. We're starting to figure things out a little bit. We know it's going to be a tank. We're not sure about much else, so we're going to work on that. So we'll figure it out together. Jack, do you want to talk about the electronics?
Yeah, so as I said, I'm also joint project lead with Orion. I'm the lead of the electronics department for the rover. So my job is sort of centered around working out what sensors we need on the rover, how we control it, and programming it. So one of the elements of the competition is you'll get bonus points for how autonomous your rover is. So being ambitious as we are here, my goal is to try and make the rover almost, if not completely, autonomous in completing its task, which we will do using a LiDAR sensor, which is a time of flight based distance measuring system, which will tell you how far things are in front of you or around you, and some visual systems to try and detect where these caches are. And then we're going to use a similar unit to Liam has in the rocket to work out where we are in terms of orientation and our acceleration in certain distances, to track the location of the rover so we can navigate to those caches and complete the task. That's the most electronics for the rover.
Thanks, Jack. What's next? Questions. I believe you can use the Q&A function in Teams to ask any questions you like. There should be a button below, I think, saying Q&A that you should be able to see.
Would you like me to explain some of the sort of computer sciencey and the skills that you can pick up from Space Society, Hader?
Yes, please.
So we've got we've talked about a couple of competitions here at Space Society. We've got a lot of stuff going on. There's going to be lots of very accessible sort of programming skills to learn, and some of the skills you can pick up will be very valuable in STEM subjects. Certainly, I don't think there are many STEM subjects where you probably won't encounter programming at some point in your degree or career, and we're accepting sort of people of any sort of level work on those tasks and try and teach them valuable skills like if you've not programmed in Python before, you can pick that up easily. Use GitHub, which is a source control thing. Some people might know it, to share our code base. That's also a very valuable skill. Certainly, if there's anyone from computer science, you'll pick up lots of useful information here. And just getting to play with hands-on hardware and seeing stuff that you've worked on working is very fulfilling, very valuable experience.
I have a question. How can people sign up to the Space Society?
Gone, Liam. There's a link in the chat which they can click to sign up with.
Perfect.
Thanks, Liam. Should we talk about Fusion 360 quickly?
You've got your design competition running at the moment, don't you?
Yes. Yeah, so more details of that will be released later. So we like to use Fusion 360, if you can see my screen, to design the rocket. Fusion is free to download. We'll have teaching lessons on how to use Fusion 362 soon. So we like to see everyone there. Liam, anything to say about Fusion?
Yeah, so as Hader said, Fusion 360 is a CAD software, computer-aided design software we use to design everything. It looks a bit confusing on first glance, but honestly, don't worry. I barely used it before last year, and now I just design all the rockets in it. So we'll provide you teaching to be able to do anything you can possibly imagine with it. It's really fun to use, and I would recommend it.
Yeah, don't worry, people who haven't used it before, because I'm going to be quite new to this as well, but we are learning and teaching at the same time. So you can, learn how you can make models in the Fusion 360 as well as we go along. And Liam is also planning to teach the ground software for the rocket launch system. So we can teach that as well. Yeah.
So I think I can.
Would you like to mention Ross?
Hader?
Sorry, Jack. Yeah, you go.
I believe I can also happily announce we have our second social coming up at the end of this week. We're going to be it's everyone together, new people that were here last year, people that have already joined, everyone together for chat and playing. I don't know if anyone's heard of Jackbox Games, but it's a collection of small party games just to get you into groups, playing something, chatting, having fun. So that's all good and is coming up Friday, I believe. We've either just announced that or we're announcing that soon. As well as that, anyone here that's new, thinking, well, we're a couple of weeks in, they seem to know what's going on with the projects. Am I going to be getting behind? No one has to worry about getting behind at all. I believe we're hoping to schedule a sort of second introductory meeting at some point soon. I know how much Hayden loves giving those. Just to catch up any of the new members we've had recently or that decided to join from this. And alongside all our competitions and things like that, we do have a few cool other projects that we're planning here to keep everyone involved. I think also soon we're planning out to try and loan some of our members sort of Pis and Arduinos. They're basically very small computers that you can program. Start getting people experienced with those as well. So as talking about the skills that you can pick up here, it's not just, in 3 months' time you might contribute something. You can start working on something hands-on now.
Sorry, I sent the link to the wrong section earlier. There should be a sign-up form in chat right now. And Grace has asked, what's the favourite thing about Space Society? Probably going to be the rocket launch towards the end of the year.
To be honest.
Sorry?
Launching rockets, to be honest, it's quite exciting.
Yeah.
Best 10 seconds of the year or so.
We're aiming to go break a kilometre high with the rocket, so hopefully it'll last longer than 10 seconds.
A lot of work, big bang at the end.
Yeah.
Hopefully
in the right direction. Have you got any more questions in Q&A? No.
That's it for anything we're presenting. So, questions, or we can wrap up.
There's some health and safety, Grace.
Yeah.
Just enough.
There's a regulating body that we need to comply to all those things.
Yeah, if anyone is genuinely worried about health and safety, we don't use rocket motors here on campus. So normally what we'll do is collect the solid fuel rocket motors at the events. So the engineering building hopefully won't burn down.
So we store them safely. We definitely don't keep them in anyone's bedrooms and stuff like that. So yeah, don't worry about anyone.
Attendees should be able to use the Q&A function. I think if we don't have any more questions, probably end it around here. If you would like to join the society, if you click on a Google Forms page where you can fill it in, hopefully we'll add you to the Microsoft Teams, which we use pretty soon.
Yeah, just give that link in chat a click and you'll be on your way.
Is there any sign-up fees or anything? That's another major question.
No, free to join. No sign-up fees.
Won't cost you a tea.
So you've got nothing to lose. Sign up and you'll be able to learn lots and have fun.
Oh, yeah, we do some outreach work, Grace has asked, with UAB school. We did that last year. Hopefully when coronavirus restrictions are loosened a little, we'll be able to do more outreach work again. Outreach is always good because it means we get more funding from different organisations. Like we're funded by the Institute of Physics currently.
Don't sugarcoat it.
Sorry?
Don't sugarcoat it.
Yes, we've done loads of World Space Week events last week alongside Astro Society, and there will hopefully be a few more to do soon. I think we'll wrap it up here. So Thanks for coming along. And goodbye, I guess.
Yeah, thanks for joining everyone, and we'll hopefully see you very soon at Space Society.